Is
we
he
remember.
a megastar, though? I don't know.
You don't think Drake's a megastar?
No.
Yo.
We are Levi's Wise Guys.
Check out the full podcast, link below.
Yo. We are the Levi's Wise Guys. Your boy, check out my boy
QDZ from RGM Meezy. You know how we do, Weezy. Weezy.
Welcome back to the Ill-Advised Wise Guys podcast. This is another episode, I believe, 156? Episode 156?
I've lost count.
Yeah, 156. Shout out to the
156,
gang.
156.
We appreciate y'all for joining us. As always, if you're new here, stay a while. And if you've been here before, just stay longer. It's almost the end of the new year. We got a jam-packed show for you guys. One that involves a lot of topics and, things that we're going to get into. Not quite the end of the year show, but I think, our next one might be.
We're getting close to it.
Yeah, lock in with us. If you guys have not yet already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We just hit the 900 subscriber mark, which is a huge win. Remember on the last episode, I said, can we get to 1K before the end of the year?
Have you run into 900 people in your lifetime?
Yes. For some of you guys who have subscribed, thank you so much. If you're part of that gang already, thank you. If you, have cussed us out and you've disliked our videos, and
IAWG gang.
if you don't want to rock with us at all, that's fine too. But after the episode, you might decide to subscribe, man. So shout out to you. Let's jump into some announcements, at least at this point. Q, what you got, man?
Check out ratingsgamemusic.com, the best music site on the planet. It
Yes,
is
sir.
Confirmed, solidified.
Yeah.
And any other synonym for those two words.
Yeah.
We did a review for Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes dropped an album called
Blockbuster.
Yep. It was pretty solid. A lot of good features.
I like that joint.
Trippie Redd dropped 2 EPs. Then you combine it, and it's like one whole album. That dropped. That's doing pretty well. Sexy Red dropped Hood Hottest Princess. And I thought it was actually pretty good. I might get flamed. I might get roasted. But I thought it was actually pretty good.
She got some joints on there.
Songs that came. Beyonce came out with a new song. Randomly. She came out with a new song.
Wifey said the shit was trash.
Yeah.
It
sounded like something.
She gonna go see the damn movie.
I couldn't tell if it was like made in 2017, 2020.
Brother.
It sounded kind of weird. But
all I'm saying is if Wifey said the joint trash, it's trash.
yeah.
I ain't say it.
Because they worship Beyonce.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
Beyonce is the closest thing to God to women.
Jesus.
And you don't say something bad about God. 7 versions of Water by Tyla dropped. One with Travis Scott. That was the first time I heard the song.
Okay.
Actually,
With Travis?
when the remixes.
Really?
That was the first time I heard
Wow.
the song. Yeah, and then I started hearing it all the time. But that dropped. She dropped the album too, EP. So check out ratingsgamemusic.com. Best music site on the planet.
Let's move on to some other announcements. So, Zero Skips, the playlist features a lot of rising talent from all around the globe. If you're an artist who has already made the playlist, shout out to you, man. Y'all are really, really, really coming with the bangers, man. I gotta applaud some of these dudes, right? We just added a couple songs. There's a guy named Jet Jano. He has a song called Feels. It's freaking phenomenal. It's a 5-star song. It really reminds me of a timeless record. It's one of those songs that like every age group can enjoy.
So it's
kind of like Bruno Mars. Also, if you are somebody out there who really loves clips of our episodes, extended clips, I should say, bite-sized pieces of content, our worst, our best takes, the hottest and the trashiest takes, the W and the L takes. Because we got some L takes. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say this dolo because I know you got to have enough self-awareness to know that all your takes ain't great, bruh. They're just not. Y'all go to our YouTube playlist up there. It's in our bio, in our link tree, I should say. And just check out some stuff, man. Y'all might subscribe to the channel and our podcast off that alone. Or you might cuss us out, man. Either or, it's your choice.
I got to say this. We got to get this out the way.
Give it to me.
We're not in the basement.
Yo, shout out to homie, man.
This show is not filmed in the basement. This is my bachelor couch. Ain't nobody else's couch. And what else?
Wait,
and I'm not dusty. Well, I'm kind of dusty. I didn't get a haircut because we're going to Fort Lauderdale. Shout out Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a haircut this week.
Anyway, let's get on to some of the topics, man. On this episode, we're going to be discussing, is rapping over 40 years old cool? Like, is that something that we should be applauding, or is hip hop truly a young man's game? Lil Wayne just recently came out and said he was depressed to hear that Andre 3000, the legend himself, didn't have anything to rap about at age of 40. And he was just like, yo, that's crazy, man, because I'm over 40 and I have a lot to rap about. Is that something that is, I guess, again, depressing or not? We're going to talk about it because it deserves a discussion. And by the way, all y'all who killed us on that last topic with is Andre 3000, disappointing for putting out a flute project and not a rap project. Listen, if y'all need Wayne to convince y'all of somebody and you don't want to listen to the wise guys, there's your proof, okay? We're not crazy. We're not crazy. Also, we're going to be talking about, is it pivotal for an artist to blow up locally before going commercial? I feel like back in the day it was a little bit more important for like artists to blow up locally because the internet wasn't there, and it just meant a little bit more, and it was damn near necessary for you to really make it out of your own city. But is that really a thing these days? Rich Paul and Jake Paul seem to think that Kid Cudi didn't need Cleveland to become who he ended up being,
and Cleveland didn't need Kid Cudi.
Also, are rapper on rapper lawsuits cool? Like, is it something that we should be kind of like championing? Is it should, when Boosie's over here suing everybody? Hey, he said YG.
How is Boosie not working with the law? Isn't that working with the law?
Hey, bro. Whoa. You saying he's snitching? But first, who will be the next Nicki Minaj? And will there be another Nicki Minaj? I think she's slated to drop a new album in the next, I don't know when you guys are going to be watching this, but Pink Friday 2, right? Slated to drop. I believe it was pushed back about 2 months. Will there be another Nicki Minaj? The queen, I'm going to call her by her rightful crown. The queen, Nicki Minaj, the queen of rap, is about to drop. It's a long-awaited anticipation, in my opinion, for her new music, right? She's been kind of teasing records here and there, dropping Lucy's here and there throughout the last couple of months, 6 to 12 months. What do we expect to hear from her album? And also, is there another female rapper that's on the come up that can assume this new position that this position that Nicki Minaj has? Like, who's really in the lane that Nicki Minaj has damn near trailblazed? Damn near.
Can we get this out the way first?
Talk to me.
First and foremost, can we get this out the way? Nicki Minaj is the best female rapper of all time. Can we agree? Can we agree with that? Who would come in a close second? You got your Lil Kims of the world, right? You got your EVEs of the world. You got your Foxy Browns of the world. I thought Foxy Brown, when she was hot, like, folks was championing her, but I don't think any other female rapper reached the heights Nicki Minaj reached. Now, it gets a little mushy, though. It gets a little murky because there is Missy Elliott who raps, right? If you want to consider her a rapper, then, I personally consider her as a singer/rapper. But if you want to throw her in there, then yes, there's a competition there. And then if you want to throw in Lauryn Hill, like you mentioned earlier, Lauryn Hill kind of reached maybe even higher heights than Nicki Minaj when she was popping. But I think if you argued with most people, the argument that Nicki Minaj is the best female rapper of all time is probably what will come out. But in this day and age, there is a lot of popping rappers right now. There's Lotto, who I think personally, Lotto's the one that has a chance to catch Nicki Minaj at that top mantle. I think I've said it before in earlier episodes. I think whoever is on Lotto's marketing team are marketing her like perfectly. They're marketing her as a rap pop star. And, she still has her, trap, elements. She still has her, gutter rap elements,
Mm-hmm.
but some of the moves she's making, like putting her on a song with Jungkook. I've seen Lotto on The Bachelor.
Mm-hmm.
Lotto's doing a good job of working with up and coming stars and the established stars. So if there's somebody who I can see, and she's only Lotto's only like 23, 24. If there's somebody I can see challenging Nicki Minaj as like female rap supreme, I can see Lotto. But there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of young artists coming out that I think, will also have like a shot. Not necessarily a major shot, but they'll have a shot. But right now, Lotto is the one that comes to my mind as somebody who can. But Nicki Minaj to me is you're gonna have to do a lot to surpass what Nicki Minaj has done in her career.
I don't feel like there will be someone who has been so widely accepted and respected lyrically by the men and the women, like undeniably accepted. Like I don't really see that person now. Now, don't get me wrong. There's tons of women who are out there doing their thing, right? Like I always want to bring up Rhapsody in these conversations when we talk about female rap because she's underappreciated,
no name,
underrepresented, no name. And really what it comes down to is, listen, this is why I like to have women in the conversation when we start talking about stuff like this because, what makes Nicki such a big star is her ability to go pop. Yeah. Right? Like the sex appeal, the appeal to not rumors. Just the core hip hop people, right? Whereas like there's tons of people who I believe are on Nicki's level lyrically and rapping wise. I truly believe
there's a couple of better. There's
yeah. If you want to say that, sure. But I think what separates it is the ability to make bigger records, big songs that are bigger than just the hip hop, you know what I'm saying, side of things. And you know what's interesting is earlier we were talking about Missy Elliott and Lauryn Hill, and I feel like Missy is better than Nicki. But the problem is when we start comparing the two, we start having a very similar convo like people have when it comes to like Kanye and the rapidy rap dudes, because people know that like Kanye is a pretty good rapper, but nobody respects him. I shouldn't say nobody. A lot of people don't respect him lyrically on that level because they consider him an artist versus a rapper. And I think that's the separation when it comes to Missy and even Nicki. But if you're just asking me as a female like artist, Missy better than
Missy
Nicki.
can go hit for
Missy's
hit.
better than Nicki.
Missy can go hit for hit with Nicki.
But the problem is, who are the young women out there right now? Who's the young ones that we see that can assume that mantle? Personally, I don't know if there's a long list.
Lotto.
I don't know if there's a long list, bro.
Lotto. I mean, there's the Big Boss Betty, Corla Ray. I mean, there's a couple, but I don't know if they quite.
I don't know, man.
Have that. First off, Nicki came out. Nicki was popular in a time where I feel like it was a lot more straightforward to get popular. Like that whole 2009, 2010 time. Yeah. It was a lot more straightforward. She was connected with Young Money, who Lil Wayne was the biggest artist at the time by far. She was linking up with him, getting songs, getting his cosign, getting songs with him. Drake was on the come up too. She was all a part of that circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like we were almost forced to listen to her music.
True.
You know? It's not quite like that right now, especially in the streaming era where new songs come out. 100 new songs come out on a Friday, and some get buried. You know, so it's a little harder to get more popular. But I did want to bring this up. I know we the thing that's so tricky about Nicki Minaj's career is that, you know, she doesn't have a classic album under her belt. Like, in my opinion, she does not have a classic album. I thought the Pink Print was pretty good. The one with Moment for Life.
Pink Friday. That was
Friday,
the original.
Pink Friday. That was pretty good. But classic, I don't think she has that Good Kid, Mad City on her resume.
Hey, look.
She doesn't even have that Take Care on her resume. I don't think her peers respect her to the level of peers respecting Kendrick or peers respecting Cole or peers respecting Drake. I don't think her peers, like, they actually want to fight her. Like Cardi wants to fight her. You know what I mean? But they do say I would be remiss.
They revere her.
They do say
No, they revere
I
her.
respect you and all this stuff. But I just feel like she doesn't quite get that level of respect as the Kendricks of the world.
I mean, look.
So her career, her catalog and her career is a little,
I feel a little weird saying this every time I say it, but it's kind of what you just said. And it's like the way people evaluate female rappers versus men rappers is different. Like, there is a double standard. There is 100% a double standard in the way we evaluate female rap. When it comes to men who rap, like the rappity rap dudes who we like, yo, now he can really spit, we start talking about, okay, what's the classic album he has?
Yes.
But we don't have that conversation amongst women, and I think, it's a bit unfortunate, to be honest with you. And that leads to the Nicki Minaj as being the greatest female rapper, but not really having this overly strong catalog that you would kind of expect from somebody that is so legendary, right? I don't know, man. I think I want to see a woman kind of like dedicate herself to like the music and really like, not saying that they're not doing that, because I clearly know they are, but I'm saying like I want to see like the culture really get behind a female rapper who really is about the lyricism and about putting together bodies of work that like we can prop up and say, yo, listen to that album, it's phenomenal. And there have been a couple like Sims. Sims, is it Little Sims? Little Sims drops very good album. Rhapsody has dropped very good album, but we need to champion it more. I feel
I've heard No Name's album that dropped.
No Name dropped a really good album.
It was fantastic. It's out there. I think we do have the ability to champion a female rapper's album as great, but the one that we have on top right now, Nicki Minaj, I'm not sure many people have championed a bunch of her albums or any of her albums as great.
Is that an indictment though? Is that have they not championed it because it's not
is,
good, or is it because we don't care about the discography like truly that women put together? Like real quick, what do you think?
Like I mentioned earlier, I said, yo, like dudes are just way more critical than women. Like dudes, we are critical of dudes watch the damn NBA and complain every single second about it. Man, LeBron James, man, LeBron James has the most points in NBA history, and I'm still complaining at the fact that he's passing it at the end of the game.
That's real.
Like we complaining.
That's
we
real.
Complaining.
That's
critical
real.
about everything. I don't think women are as critical as men when it comes to what they enjoy. They're just like, this is a bop. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I could be wrong, but I mean that's kind of what I'm noticing. Next topic: are rapper on rapper lawsuits acceptable? What spurred this topic was Boosie and Rod Wave. They're going through some type of back and forth. I've not been paying attention to the back and forth, to be honest with you. I just saw Boosie say something about he's going to sue Rod Wave. And then I saw the part where Rod Wave said, yo, man, hey, man, just pull up, man. I'm just going to put up on you, man. Like, it ain't even that serious, man. I get like $200K, man. So I just saw that part. And then after that, all the other, like, back and forth, I stopped looking at it.
Right.
But apparently, I mean, on Twitter or X, people are siding with Boosie more. Is it me? Have you been seeing comments? I feel like people are siding with Boosie more, where they're like, Rod Wave needs to pay his respect for Boosie, because at the end of the day, it is clear he did take Boosie's lyrics almost word for word. I don't think he said it like Boosie on the song that Boosie's trying to sue him for, but it was like word for word. And then people started finding other examples of Rod Wave taking like Jay-Z's song Cry. And so people are like, yo, you got to pay homage. You didn't, acknowledge anything. You did this and that. So people are kind of like, yeah, Boosie is justified in suing Rod Wave. But to me, just coming from this 90s hip hop era that I've, that's where my love for hip hop really started, was the 90s era hip hop. Hearing that somebody sued somebody, a rapper suing another rapper, just sounded so odd to me.
Yeah.
Is it odd, man? Is this odd?
Listen,
or
man.
is this like, yo, this is just 2023 stuff?
Hey, bro. Boosie is bringing a new meaning to standing on business. You know why? Because Boosie is a bit of a different case. Actually, it's currently going on. If you look at his whole like timeline, he's having issues with Young Blue, right? Back in the day, Boosie gave Young Blue an opportunity, signed him originally, got him a label advance. Young Blue ended up taking off. Had the song "Your Mind Still" with Drake. That ended up becoming a big hit. Then Young Blue allegedly ran off with the bag, right? When it comes to what he did with Empire, right? And now Boosie's like, bro, where's my money? Like, you're signed to me. You never paid me my money. And on top of that, y'all forged my signature in order to get out of the deal.
I didn't know that.
This is what's going on with Boosie. This is what he's alleging.
With Young Blue.
And Ghazi, the guy who owns Empire, the head of Empire.
Empire's like the new Koch, right?
It's the new Koch. So we got to know who we're dealing with, right? I think Boosie's actually leading the charge here. He is putting lawsuits on everybody, bro. He doesn't care. And unfortunately for people like Rod Wave, hey, if you didn't get your business right, if your business wasn't settled correctly prior to putting out the song, you probably should get a lawsuit on you. You probably should. Now, hey, are there other ways to handle business outside of lawsuits? Of course. But apparently he didn't reach out in advance. So now what you want Boosie to do? He got to get his money. Boosie said he wants $200K and 25% of that record.
Yeah, he did. I just saw
And Rod Wave is like, So now he got to push forward with the lawsuit. I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
I mean, we got to get this out of the way immediately. Lawsuits are common.
Yes.
Like, I believe
in America,
Rick Ross sued. He sued LMFAO. Remember them? They had that party song, and they said "Every Day I'm Shuffling." Rick Ross sued them.
You look at what happened in with Ed Sheeran just got sued by the estate of Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye's estate been suing everybody. They sued Robin Thicke too,
left and right. I think lawsuits are very common in music.
It's very common in music, and it's not crazy, but what is kind of crazy is hearing rappers suing other rappers. That's something I don't think I've ever heard. And then to put it on social media the way that he did was even more bizarre to me. But at the same time, it's like, how should he have been compensated? Like, if it's not a lawsuit, I'm like directly in the middle here.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, suing another brother.
All right, here we go.
Suing another brother. A brother suing another brother.
See, don't go, Dr. Umar Pan-African this on me. Don't go Pan-African.
So there's
black people sue black people every day.
The other side of me is like, you should be compensated if somebody just kind of just took your rhymes, and made it seem like it's theirs. So it's like I'm in the middle. So what? How do we fix this solution that Rod Wave and Boosie are in?
I got a good parallel. And I'm not going to take this super racial, but this is an issue in the black community. I have to say this. We have to get away from the homie discount. The homie discount, bro.
I like that.
The homie discount, I think, is
like
effing
that.
up society. Like, why is it that black people have to take discounts from other black people? No. If you took a service from someone, pay them accordingly. Or else the lawsuit coming. I'm sorry, bro. Like, and so here's the thing. And I'm sure there's a ton of situations that never make it to lawsuits, and they handle business under the table. And I think that's perfectly fine, too. But the bottom line is, dudes got to get paid, bro. And if you revere Boosie like you say you do, Rod Wave, show respect and pay up. But what's the issue?
Whatever happened to imitation is the best form of flattery?
I think Boosie is flattered. He even said it.
He said right?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to
But flattering don't pay bills.
To go on Rod Wave's side.
Okay.
Technically, people now know what that Boosie song is. I had no clue he took from Boosie. Now people are going back and listening to that Boosie song. So he's getting streams on that song because of this whole controversy. So he is getting more money.
But that doesn't, no.
I mean, Spotify paying 10 cents per 1,000 now, right? So he's getting more money, right?
No, but that still doesn't make, if this is all true, by the way, because I don't know.
How much, but how do you put in words? How do you put 200K? I guess the 25% makes sense. But where did 200K? You just came out with just 200K.
I don't know how they measure it, bro. But it's like no different than, like, let's say somebody wants a feature verse. Like, how do you measure someone's booking fee?
Interesting.
Like, how do you measure someone's show fee?
So
like when people be like, I charge $500,000 for a show.
Yeah.
How do you measure that?
In other words, plagiarism is worth that much money in hip hop. By the way,
You don't think it is?
there is something I do want to point out. There was somebody that said, you know that song Yams? Can we get to the yams? Fetty Wap, right? Fetty Wap has a song called Can I Get to the Yams? Somebody pointed out that like there's another song that sounds identical to that.
That melody sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you. But I thought that was interesting. Can I get to the yams?
There's an old song.
Old ass
Yeah.
melody. That's why it sounded like the stereotypical old ass melody that you can think of. That's what it sounded like. But
Listen, if what Boosie's saying is true, I think Rod Wave got to pay up. And we gotta stop. We gotta stop doing that to our people, bro.
The Obama discount.
Yo, bro, stop. We gotta stop going into black businesses. The shirt costs $20, and you go to the register talking about, hey, listen, bro. Hey, we known each other for a while. I respect you. Hey, let me give you $10.
Absolutely doesn't happen.
Let me give you $10.
It does not happen.
Bro, it does.
That doesn't.
It happens
Not
all the
t-shirt.
time.
Not the t-shirt.
Yo,
but
people who
the
know
clubs, yes. The clubs, hell yeah.
You don't know what people out here doing, bro.
Yeah.
It's beyond the clubs.
Let me get in, man, dog. Let me get
Yo,
in.
come on, man. No, just pay the money like everybody else.
But then why are we charging people to get into the club? That's a
Yo,
whole nother.
you're doing the knowledge.
Why are we charging? Why is a brother charging another brother to come in and stand somewhere? Why?
You getting too woke on me, man. Go to sleep, man.
Man.
Why is it? Why they gotta pay to get in the club? And if I want a bottle, it costs 5 times what it costs at the liquor store. Why we gotta overcharge the people in the community? Let's move on.
It's philosophical.
It's philosophical. Let's keep it pushing, man. Next topic. Is it still pivotal for artists to blow up locally before going commercial? So I saw a brief clip online that had Rich Paul, which is, he's a famous agent at this point in sports. He's dating Adele, longtime friends with LeBron James, from Cleveland, all of that. And he was sitting down with Jake Paul. And I didn't realize he was from Cleveland as well. And they were having a conversation about Cleveland pride. Then Kid Cudi's name came up. And they were talking about how Kid Cudi never embraced Cleveland and Cleveland never embraced Kid Cudi. And it got me thinking, Cudi ended up becoming a icon in the rap community for what he was able to do, obviously. But what's interesting about Cudi is he's one of the few people that I can think of in like recent memory, at least in the early 2000s, that blew up, but you don't really associate where he's from to his stardom. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like more and more these days, you're kind of seeing that, where you're seeing all these rappers and you're not really seeing where they're from. You don't see it in the way that they make music. You don't see it in their aesthetic. You don't see it in sort of what they're repping. They don't even rep it half the time. And I'm like, bro, in reality these days, is it even important for artists to kind of blow up locally, have that grassroots movement before taking off? Or is the internet so powerful now that your music can be placed online like Kid Cudi's was back in the blog era, and it can take off? What do you think?
First off, I want to say Kid Cudi had Cleveland as the reason. Like, that's one of the first songs he came out with during that mixtape, A Kid Named Cudi. And I think Cleveland is the reason ended up being the anthem for one of their sports teams, right? So he has done his part to rep Cleveland in his music, and his songs have had an impact on Cleveland. I do want to mention that. From an outside looking in, we're DMVers. From an outside looking in, we can sit here and say, Kid Cudi, we didn't know really where he came from, this, that, blah, 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 blah. But the people actually in Cleveland would actually know the impact he had. So
they'll be able to speak on it.
It was notable. Yeah, it was notable hearing Rich Paul say that and say it in public. It almost felt like a diss. Like, it was, if not a diss, it's like as close to a diss as it can get, saying like he was irrelevant kind of to Cleveland. That's kind of how I took it. But there's certain people that a city connects with, right? A city connects with their come up story. Like, for instance, Ludacris repped Atlanta, but his impact in Atlanta is not the same as T.I.'s. T.I.'s felt like it embodied the city, while Ludacris felt more universal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of DC, right? Wale feels like a DC DMV artist,
For sure.
while a guy like Logic feels like a universal artist and never gets associated as being a DMV. I don't think, it has to do with an artist not being liked or an artist, not repping where they're from. There's just some artists that embody where they came from, And in the case with Kid Cudi, I'm not exactly sure he embodies where Cleveland came from. I'm not from Cleveland. Rich Paul can probably speak on it, but I think if I were to guess, that's where he was coming from with that comment. You know what I mean?
No, but that's an interesting twist. I mean, we could really switch this topic question to be, is it important for an artist to embody where they come from? I like the angle, but I think to address what you were just saying, I think they were actually getting at the first point, which was like he didn't rep Cleveland, and they said that people from Cleveland are very prideful about being from Cleveland. So they were like, he never really put that on his back like that.
But he
and
did
also
say,
the city,
a kid named Cudi, he said Cleveland is the reason. But Cleveland.
But you also said that people from the city would be able to speak on it more than somebody from the outside.
Exactly. That's what.
So
it depends on how you rep it.
Right.
Like for instance, Logic mentions Gaithersburg all the time. Logic mentions it. Hey man, I'm from Gaithersburg, but like people still don't really associate it. He's everything. He says it. Music has now become, when you blow up, you go to LA. Period. You blow up, you go to LA. Or before you blow up, you go to LA. Like every single artist that's popping is in LA. They're basing their roots in LA. That's the world we're living in right now. Back in the day, it used to be like, what was the biggest metropolitan area? I'm going to attach to that. So if New York is the biggest metropolitan area, I'm attached to that. If I'm DC, I'm going to attach to New York.
Yep.
If I'm in the West Coast, I'm going to attach to LA. If I'm in Texas, I'm going to attach, or in that Midwest area, I'm going to attach to Chicago. Now everybody just goes to LA. So it's almost like the NBA where, during your college years, maybe you go to Kentucky and this is that, but the goal is to get to the NBA. For musicians, the goal is to get to LA. And once they get to LA, that's when they start to bloom fully as an artist.
I'm of the belief that it's more beneficial for artists to rep where they come from more so than it isn't. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, there's something about slang and culture and the way you talk and what you look like and telling your story about your origins and where you come from, which is what makes fans buy into you in the first place a lot of times. Obviously, you got to be making good music, and that's step one. Yeah. But like people like the story. A lot of times your come up story comes from where you're from. So when all of these dudes and women, obviously, and just people in the industry, like before they blow up and they go to LA, like I feel like they're like diminishing and not really kind of like bringing their culture and putting it in the music. It kind of just gets very bland. Like this is the reason why people go to LA and get strung out on drugs and a whole lot of just weird stuff people talk about that happens in LA and in New York. Yeah. Like people lose themselves. And I'm gonna be honest, some of my favorite artists, I know exactly where they're from. Like whether it's like, I'm talking about even the young crop, whether it's like, I think about like 21 Savage, it's very clear where he's from.
London.
Hey, yeah, actually, yeah. Technically, he's from there. He's from Atlanta. That shit means something in his music. You could tell he reps it. Yeah. Future, it means something that he comes from Atlanta. Yeah. But one of the interesting people is I thought about like XXXTentacion. He's from like Florida, and like you never really kind of like heard him really rep that in his music. He was very ambiguous when it came to like where he's from. So I do think like you can still make it as an artist, but for me as a listener, I always love when artists rep where they from. Well, I think it means something. I think they wear it on their back as part of their aesthetic in the music.
In this day and age, like artists aren't repping anything. They're not repping where they're from. They're not repping their religion like you.
They're repping their religion.
They're not rep. People don't rep their religion. People ain't saying they Christian anymore.
Hey, bro.
Like they used to. People ain't repping God like that no more. The world, I say this to people all the time. The world is as equal as it's ever been, and it's because of social media. Somebody in Imo State, Nigeria, can see what somebody is doing in New York and try to emulate it.
True.
On social media, and you just can't tell nowadays where everybody is from because everybody sees the same things on social media. Doesn't necessarily care. We don't care where it came from. Everybody sees the same things on TV, social media, internet, whatever. So it's more uniform, more than ever. Like there's jits that are the same everywhere, and you can see it in the NBA.
Yeah.
You can see in the NBA, all these kids are coming from all over America, but they all look the same. Same
yeah.
hair,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same braids, same
Uh-huh.
cornrows, same colorful, same, everybody likes NBA YoungBoy because we're more uniform. The world is just more uniform than it's ever been.
I'm with you. Internet has flattened out the
it's
earth.
no longer
But
local.
there's something to repping where you from. Like
I
even
like it.
even look at YoungBoy. YoungBoy's still making them damn bounce records that the masses don't really care about. Like when he get into that same old them beats. Like, bro, that's like Baton Rouge. That's literally Baton Rouge sound. He's still trying to He just put out a new single where it's the same thing. I'm like, bro, I've heard 1,000 of these records. Like, I like the fact that he's trying to put this shit on.
Next topic. Will there ever be another major superstar in hip hop and R&B like Beyonce? We mentioned earlier Tyla came out with an EP called Tyla. And Water obviously is doing extremely well. I'm hearing it every other second, right? And to me, she just has the look. She has the pizzazz. See, people don't use that word no more. Pizzazz. She has the voice, and then she just has the potential. She's young. That's big too. She's young. That formula to me screams out superstar. And I think she has a potential of being huge. But the question is, can she become Rihanna? Can she become Beyonce?
An icon.
Which, by the way,
an icon.
Everybody's gonna say, "Oh, but she's not American." Rihanna, people forget, Rihanna's from Barbados.
True that.
And she was able to penetrate all these different countries. So, this South African Tyla, I think has a shot. But does anybody have a shot? Is like just the days of a superstar in the hip hop / R&B genres a thing, or is that something we got to put to bed? It's never going to happen again.
This is one of the hardest questions of this episode.
Yes.
You know why? Because in order for me to even answer this question, I feel like we got to really dissect what's the makeup of a superstar. Like, how do people even get to this route? How did Beyonce become Beyonce? How did Taylor Swift become who she is? How did Rihanna become who she is? And I think, obviously, there's different paths, right? But let's just look at Beyonce, right? For example, bro, she was a child protege. Her family molded her in dance. They molded her. Her family was in music. Like, I think the father was part of a band. Obviously realized that she had talent, put her in a girl group that ended up becoming Destiny's Child. The tutelage of the artist development that went along with being in Destiny's Child and her being the protege star blossomed into her being the Beyonce we know today. Fast forward 10 albums or however many albums she's put out since then, displaying this regalness in her personality and sort of what she stands for. Dating Jay-Z, eventually marrying. Like this, it's a whole process. Like, it ain't just the music. I guess what I'm getting at is, like, do fans even care about the grind anymore? Like, is the grind even important anymore? Because every day nowadays, we hear a new artist pop up every day. Like Tyla, that new song, Water, is phenomenal. I love that song. Her aesthetic is, to me, extremely marketable. That song in general is going to penetrate culture. Like, I believe that. It's going to do what Calm Down did for Selena Gomez. Like, it's going to be pop, and it's going to be all over. But the point is, can people buy into her story? What will she do next? Does she have what it takes? I think in reality, a lot of artists truly don't have the superstar intangible. Now I gotta know more about Tyla because I need to know about her background. I need to know about like what was she doing before this? Does she have the want to even want to be that? You know what I'm saying? So I think becoming a megastar at this level, bro, is so diamond in the rough like type of an approach and sort of a route that artists want to take. So yes, can it happen? Of course. But are all these artists that we seen that have all this potential gonna be them? Yo, I wouldn't bet on it because it's literally that hard to do. It's literally that hard to do.
Never say never, right?
I'm not saying it's impossible.
But I mean, let's give proper credit here, right?
Go for it.
There are some superstars.
Yes.
Right now, like
there's a ton.
Afro pop.
Yeah.
Afro
Burna
beats,
Boy.
Afro jazz.
Burna Boy's a superstar.
He's a superstar. WizKid.
Superstar.
These are megastars that were developed in the last couple of years, right?
Bad Bunny, superstar.
Right?
Bad Bunny only speak English on records, and he's a superstar.
Superstar. So it's possible, but at the same time, I agree with you in terms of we gotta care about who Tyla is.
Yeah,
like we had an unhealthy amount of care about what Beyonce was doing from 20 when she was like 22 to like 30, whatever, 40.
Yeah.
Right. We had an unhealthy amount. So she's going to have to get into relationships, unfortunately. She's going to have to date big time people. She's going to have to putting out great music. She's going to have to collab with big names. So it's going to be really hard. But, do we need that though? Can this 2023 era handle a superstar? Would you want to be a superstar because of the scrutiny online and all that stuff? Can we handle it in 2023?
You mean can the fans handle it? You mean can the fans handle it?
Both. Can the fans handle it?
Can
the artists handle it?
About the artists.
I personally believe that we as fans have too short our memory. What do you call it?
Attention span.
Yeah. I couldn't even remember it. That's how bad my attention span is.
That's wild.
Look, our attention span is so low right now. I don't think we can stomach learning about somebody and caring about somebody for more than 2 years at such a high level.
This is what I'm
saying. A new artist.
Yo,
our attention span is just really bad now. But
how does an artist penetrate what you just said? That means they got to now do more.
I don't.
You got to make people really care, and
so therefore, the answer might be there may never be another Beyonce. Because from the male perspective in America, there's never been another Michael Jackson. Chris Brown was close. Usher was really good, but there was never another Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson stopped really being super duper relevant in music in 99.
Hey.
96.
You tell that to Drake. Drake said he's bigger than
Drake's
MJ.
A megastar?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. And you know why?
Okay.
Because he was ingratiated into this culture before the lack of attention span era. We remember.
I don't know.
You don't think Drake's a megastar?
No, I think he's a very, 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 very highly popular rapper.
Drake is a megastar, bro. Come on, man. Everything that I said about the story and the grind and
Michael.
Listen,
compared to Michael and Beyonce.
Bro, Drake said
Beyonce can sell out. Beyonce can sell out in freaking Madagascar.
I think Drake could too.
Maybe.
But come on, man. What you mean? You gotta stop it, man. I know you want.
I don't know. No.
I know you want to make.
I think Drake,
I know you want MJ to be the only guy on this planet in history.
But it's MJ. People were fainting when they saw MJ.
You don't think people are fainting when they throwing bras on him at stage? Come on, man.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know about that, but I know Drake is a huge.
And I want to be clear. I'm not saying he's at the level of MJ in terms of stardom or star power, if you will. I'm just saying I believe Drake is a megastar. I believe the redefined definition of what megastar is. We can't do the comparison.
Okay, so name all the megastars you can right now in the history of music. Just name all the people who you consider megastars. To me, it's a short list. Maybe our credentials.
Are we talking about?
Different?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So there's the Beatles.
I was the first people I was about to name. Yes. So are we talking about U.S. or globally or what? Global.
So there's the Beatles, right? There's Michael.
100%. Right? Michael Jackson. I'm gonna throw in. Listen, I'm going right now.
Beyonce.
I'm throwing Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift? Ooh.
Throwing her in there.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Taylor Swift is a megastar. Taylor Swift,
easily
is. Yeah. Taylor Swift's got there.
Beyonce's in there too.
Beyonce's in there. Yeah, Beyonce's in there. But then after that, I'm like, I don't think Drake fits there. Doesn't fit there. But
there's a long list, but we're not naming them all.
Drake is probably the most popular hip hop artist, maybe of all time.
It's not probably.
He is.
How's that even probable?
Hip hop artist and the most accomplished hip hop artist of all time, right? But I wouldn't put him there with Taylor Swift. Hey, and it might be just with rap. Like it might just be a rap thing where hip hop just there. Maybe because of the content.
But Drake
hip hop would never get to that
Drake
level.
is not just rap.
That's
he's
true.
a pop star.
That's true.
We gotta stop looking at Drake like he's just this rapper.
But
dude.
his content is still hip hop when he goes the pop lane.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's content. Maybe I don't know. And Tyla's content, even though Water, we were talking about that. I don't know what she's talking about with Water. But
you know what she's talking about.
Water,
you know what she's talking about.
But if you can manipulate people into thinking that you're just talking about Aquafina, like the bottled water, then maybe water is the key to life. Maybe she's talking about that. If she can trick people, because I'm assuming her content's going to be wholesome. But then again, I did hear her.
I don't think so, man.
Songs talking crazy. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, this whole megastar. We had this combo before. Shout out to Jalisa, man. We had this combo about even Bad Bunny. He's a megastar and all this stuff. Yo, there's a lot of people who kind of use the word superstar and megastar kind of intangible or synonymously, but like there's a lot of people who are on the border, man.
I know.
Are they like that international kind of star? I don't know.
Like I'm saying like Beatles, MJ, Beyonce, Taylor Swift. Like
I don't know, man.
If Taylor Swift said if Taylor Swift came to your Chipotle, like your local Chipotle, police would be there immediately.
Was Elvis Presley? Was Elvis a superstar? I'm sorry, a megastar.
He was a megastar. Yeah, Elvis was a megastar. Elvis was. But you see, then at the same time, it's like, was Stevie Wonder a megastar? I don't think so.
But
I think Stevie Wonder was really good at what he did. Everybody knew who Stevie Wonder was, but I don't think he was on the same.
I need the old heads to chime in on that
because this is not just about music.
I need the old heads to chime in on that one
because just about music. This is also about you just being an iconic figure.
I know.
And a lot of times, like black artists unfortunately were not able to get to that level because, especially back then, it just wasn't
naturally.
We weren't black artists.
Racism was out in the open.
Yeah, black artists weren't appreciated the way they are a little more.
Next topic and last topic at that is rapping over 40 still cool, or has it ever been cool? Will it ever be cool? Yo, shout out to Lil Wayne. I want to give Lil Wayne some credit here publicly because Wayne is a legend, bro. Wayne is a legend, bro. And I'm glad that he's starting to kind of talk, kind of give his OG status opinions of the culture and what he believes. And recently sat down with Tyga. I believe it was on his own Apple Music show, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a clip that was going viral, which was him talking about how he was depressed to hear 3 Stacks, Mr. Andre 3000, say out of his own mouth that he's not inspired to rap at his age. And if you just saw the look on Lil Wayne's face, bro, he was just so he was so disappointed, bro. Dare I say, he was disappointed like us.
Yeah.
In what the output ended up being with 3 Stacks ended up releasing, and of course, encompassing the interview that went viral of Andre 3000. But nonetheless, we've seen artist after artist these days have a second, third wind in their career. Nas, even Busta Rhymes is dropping new music. But how old is Busta? We don't even know.
It's got to be 50.
Bro, was he
Busta
50 years
at
old?
least 50.
Bro, Busta dropped a great album. Jay-Z, although he's not a super active rapper, he's still giving us verses. Matter of fact, Jay-Z gave us 444 in his 40s. Like, we got to stop acting as if, and I remember I had this beef with you a while ago. I said, yo, we're entering into a new era where the young and the old in rap can coexist, and there's a space to want to hear what the old people have to say. The older people in their 40s have to say. I think what Wayne said is encompassing just that. And so to you, as a listener, just somebody like obviously growing with the music, these artists that we've known and loved since once we were 20 and 30 and whatnot, do you want to hear from rappers in their 40s?
Of course. What?
No, I'm because
of course
there's people out there who are going to say no.
So here's the thing.
What you mean?
Here's the thing.
It's a legit debate. Go ahead.
Here's the thing that's funny.
Talk to me.
You know what I was doing right now, looking at my phone, was I was looking at all the artists that are making music right now, all the rap artists that are making music right now that are over 40. I'm gonna name a bunch of them. That a lot of people don't associate because they're youthful, right? We don't associate. They are over 40.
Hey, bro, can I just...
Or close to 40.
Can I just name one that's like off the top of the head and then you can go with the list?
Yeah.
Kanye West.
Kanye West is almost 50, right?
And nobody has ever brought up age.
Age, right?
Ever.
Right? Okay, so let's name them.
But go ahead.
Right? Nicki Minaj is almost 40, if not 40.
Okay.
Lil Wayne, right?
Whatever.
The Machine and Benny the Butcher are close to 40.
Correct.
J. Cole's, 37, 38.
Rick Ross was
Drake
close to 40 when he was at the height of his career.
Rick Ross he's 40. He's
40 now. He's over 40 now, but at the height of his career, he was late 30s.
Pusha T, who's at the height of his career, over 40.
Nas is in his 50s. I think he just turned 51.
Yeah, Nas is in his 50s.
T.I. is in his
40s. Jeezy's in his 40s. And these are all
2 Chainz just dropped an album with Wayne. They're both in their 40s.
Their 40-years-old are the ones that are
they kind of popping,
dog.
They kind of popping.
They're
like, real
actually popping right now. So that's why I'm like, yo, y'all killing us. It's particularly me. I heard people making comments when I said the Andre 3000, the excuse of not making music because he thought because he's 40. I said that's nonsense, right? Because look at all those people I just named that are over 40 that was able to come out with albums and songs in their 40s.
100%. And not only that, to your point, you also said, yo, okay, you don't want to make music in your 40s. Why didn't you give us music in your 30s?
In your 30s or
your late 20s, your 30s. Why didn't you give us an album? Now, for me, my retort to that, what Andre 3000 said was, listen, bro, people want to hear you. Stop talking. Why are you acting as if nobody wants to hear your perspective at age 40?
I would 100% buy an album about him talking about colonoscopy.
Yes,
I would buy. This is tight.
Like that's what
100%. That's dope. It's you saying.
I would love to talk about how Andre 3000's vision is going bad. He said it. He said it.
Listen to that.
I want to hear what you're saying.
And I want to make sure this is clear.
Yeah.
I fully understand that it's his prerogative. If he feels like making music, that's up to him.
I think that goes without saying.
He doesn't owe us. I thought it was obvious.
Clearly not.
I thought it was obvious.
I thought that went without saying. But
he doesn't owe us.
You got to say that apparently, huh?
I know that is his prerogative. I get it. But 40-year-olds are popping. 40 is the new 30. I think that's absolutely true. 40 is the new 30. And there's, at the end of the day, LeBron's still playing basketball at 40. It's the point is keeping, if those 40-year-olds are youthful. Are they youthful individuals? Like a lot of them are still doing things that indicate that they have a young soul.
True.
Like when we were growing up,
40
was old. Like to me, Steve Harvey's always been old. Steve Harvey has always felt like a dad. Like during the Steve Harvey show, he was probably like 30. He just seemed like a dad.
He was in his 40s.
Steve Harvey's not so cool.
Yeah.
But like a lot of these 40-year-olds are cool.
You know what
and
though?
If you have a youthful soul, do what you do.
I have to say this real quick. I'm agreeing with everything you just said. I have to say this too because hip hop is such a young man's sport, quote unquote sport, and hip hop just turned 50. We gotta put it in perspective. We cannot lose the perspective that this genre is young. So, for example, I feel like every rapper has been caught with a line or two at some point in their career where they're like, they either shamed a rapper who was rapping past 35, or they themselves said, I'm not going to be rapping past 35 or my 40s because that's whack.
Eminem said that.
Drake has a line that said that. Game was clowning Jay-Z back in the day. Famous diss record back at him for saying that. Like, it's been a thing.
Nas on Ether. No, actually, he clowned him for karate. 38 Tybo class.
Which is crazy because why wouldn't you want to know how to defend yourself? But side note, right? But the point is, like, people used to shame dudes for their age and rap, and I think that right there is what Andre 3000 is suffering from, if you ask me. I think he's dealing with this old mentality of people feeling like nobody wants to hear from me when I'm older, but not realizing that this genre has evolved significantly over time and it continues to get older. And there's been all these rappers we just named who are still active making music that people want to listen to. Yeah. So I don't know. I want to hear from dudes over 40, bro. It's just really that simple. Just
to reiterate, I just don't get this idea where like you're saying you won't have anything to talk about.
That doesn't make sense.
Like what he's making it seem like he's in a damn rocking chair at an old people's home. Like 40-year-olds are still freaking living active lives, bro. Like what? My visions. What you mean to tell me at 40 you're like doing nothing cool? You're doing absolutely nothing cool at 40. Listen, I just don't get that. Listen, I mean, I get where he's coming from.
I kind of get it, but it's an excuse, bro.
I respect where he's coming from, and I get where he's coming from. But we got to call it what it is. It's an excuse.
Yes.
And it's an excuse that is not necessarily a valid one. Like, and it's not necessarily legit to me.
It's not legit, and I'm glad you pointed it out before. I'll say this as well. Like, I'm all for the creator / artist making what music inspires them. Like, I'm an artist myself. I get the whole. We're all artists. We're all creatives. You do what inspires you. So if something don't feel natural, of course you probably shouldn't do it. However, never lose sight of the fact that your perspective is what shapes your creativity. Like, the landscape of music that's being made is a product of people evolving over time. So while in your 20s you was probably rapping about this probably immature lifestyle that you may have been living, just know that people in their 30s, when you get to 30, people in their 40s, the people that are also that age, they are living as well. And they're not this young man. They want to hear the growth. The reason why Jay-Z's 444 hit so hard, even for people younger than him, was the game he was imposing in his lyricism, what he was saying, how he was talking about evolution, how he was talking about business and wealth and personal growth. Why he can't give us that? Because Dre, he even seemed like the type that's about that. I'm just from the outside looking in.
He seemed like a type.
He seemed like the type that's down to earth.
Has gone through what he's gone through.
That can give us that type of game.
I want to hear from Andre.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's be real though. On the other side, so I'll say it real quick.
Go ahead.
On the other side, there is some 40-year-olds that want to stop rap because you're 40.
Thanks.
So it's like, you know, there's
but it's not the age.
But it's not the age.
That's the point.
Well, kind of.
It's not the age. It's more about the perspective.
It's the youthfulness.
It's more about the lifestyle, more about the perspective. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm kind of kidding.
Can you imagine if we got an album from Nas at 60 years old? At this route, he might do it.
King's Disease 9?
Nah, it might be 20 by then. At the rate he's at.
And Nas still sounds fresh. Like, he still sounds really good. You know what I mean?
There you go. So, I don't know, man. You guys let us know what you think, man. Do you want to hear from a rapper over the age of 40? Or should they just hang it up no matter what, no matter how good the music is? You know what I'm saying? Like, how important is age to y'all? Y'all let us know in the comments. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to everybody that's made it this far and also who subscribed to our YouTube channel and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're almost at our goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. Hey, man.
We got to take shots.
We got to toast to y'all, man. We got to toast to them, man.
Hey, you know what?
Champagne ya. But as always, if you're giving advice, just make sure that thing is ill.